An Arlington couple is searching for a killer in a case the state now considers closed. That 1985 triple murder still haunts Lisa and Mark Dufer because they believe the killer or killers are still walking the streets. Fox 4's Jeff Crilly reports.
Laundry room. All were bound and stabbed in a similar manner.
3 teenagers stabbed to death in an Arlington home.
Murderer or murderers slipped into
no witnesses, no clear motive.
So without a murder weapon.
In June of 1985, it left many in Arlington scared for their lives.
We'd always left our doors open, you know.
And among those neighbors interviewed by reporters was Ron Trimboli,
Until this event.
the man who would later be tried, convicted, and sentenced to life for the murders.
It's yours to know everything.
But this is not Ron Trimboli's story. His liver failed and he died in prison 5 years ago.
And these are all the stab wounds.
It's the story of his daughter and her husband.
And how many
FBI profilers.
1, 2.
For more than a decade and a half, Mark and Lisa Dufer have been trying to prove that Ron Trimboli did not do it.
And Veterans Park is right here.
Their bedroom has become an evidence room.
It matches up to that.
And his death has made their mission seem pointless
Something like this.
to even those closest to them.
Of course, a lot of family wishes we weren't doing this.
Some people would say you're obsessed.
I am. I am obsessed for justice.
3 teenagers bound and stabbed in their Arlington.
There are several things that bother them about the case. For instance, how could one adult keep 3 able-bodied teenagers at bay with a knife, binding and gagging them one at a time and then murdering them in different rooms of the house?
It's impossible for anybody to separate 3 people and cut cords off appliances and tie clothing together and tie them up, keep them separated and keep them quiet.
Police believe there was more than one killer.
And with such a bloody crime scene, why didn't detectives find a single drop of blood connecting Trimboli to the murders?
There would have been some type of blood somewhere on his shoes, on his sock.
And finally, there was the way police handled the crime scene. The couple obtained this police videotape, which shows a detective standing on the very dryer where police later said they found Ron Trimboli's palm print. A palm print too perfect, says Lisa, to have been made by someone in the middle of a triple murder.
When somebody is wrestling and trying to stab, they wouldn't be so perfectly formed on such a slick surface.
So then how, you ask, were prosecutors able to convict Trimboli? Well, it wasn't easy. The first trial ended in a mistrial. The second, in a hung jury.
They've had 2 shots at him. They've missed him twice. I think it's time to let the man up and pursue the real killer's identity.
Then, just before the third trial, Trimboli's attorneys suggested they use an emerging technology called DNA testing. And his attorneys warned him that this new science was so precise that if he actually committed the murders, he should not volunteer to take this test. Trimboli took the test, and it backfired. Prosecutors say they found Trimboli's DNA on the bedspread next to one of the victims. It sealed his fate. This time, there was no jury deadlock. They convicted Ron Trimboli of the murders.
Why give them the only evidence they need to put you away forever?
So how did Ron Trimboli's DNA get on the bedspread? The girl was found on her mother's bed. Mark Dufer says this is how Trimboli explained it to him.
He did tell me that he had an affair with the mother, so that would explain his physical evidence on her bed. And that he had gone down there to fix the washer and dryer would explain the palm prints on the washer and dryer.
Yours to know.
The victim's mother has consistently said she did not have an affair with Trimboli.
Fort Worth.
Prosecutors say while they feel sympathy for Lisa, they think she wants to believe so badly that her father is innocent that she'll never, ever be convinced otherwise.
The evidence speaks for itself, and obviously, people who aren't in a frame of mind to be convinced are not going to be convinced.
Lisa plans to continue her fight day after day.
This is the pillowcase.
She's even having original DNA evidence that she's managed to recover from the case retested using modern methods. Why does she fight so hard? She says she can't stop. She's tried to give it up many times before and keeps coming back.
And I believe that this held me back in so many ways. I could have moved on and have done so much more, but this is just, I've sacrificed my life.
Jeff Crilly, Fox 4 News.